if there was a thread about Team Liquid popularity, it has been through the roof. I mean, it wasn't even since the announcement of StarCraft 2. It's been more since GOM TV got started. So really, I think StarCraft's in a pretty good place. I think it's in a better place now than it has been in a long time. And I would say that about 95% of that is because of GOM TV. I mean, they hired one of the best, Nick Tasteless-Plot, of course. Most everyone knows him by now. And so he gives StarCraft like a friendly face, easy to understand, just anyone can watch it and enjoy it. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for the future of StarCraft, and hopefully for GOM, they still have poor Nick and Super Daniel Man a job. But as far as we know for sure, we don't know what will happen. But hopefully they do have a season 4.
Yes, GOM TV has been excellent fun and has clearly boosted the popularity of StarCraft in all the world that is not Korea, and we can all hope it will continue that way, and listeners will find links to some of the best games ever played on GOM TV next to this interview. As I said, we can only hope for the best there. However, moving on to the other more established and KESPA sanctioned leagues. The seasons are starting up again, Pro League, MSL, OSL. Any thoughts or predictions or hopes?
Oh man, I think that this season is going to just be crazy mode, because I think a lot of gamers realize that StarCraft 2 is on the horizon, and so no one knows exactly what's going to happen, but as of right now, as far as we know, this will be the last big 100% focused league season. So, I mean, because once StarCraft 2 beta comes out, a lot of people who watch StarCraft 1 are going to instantly focus on StarCraft 2, and all the new people coming into StarCraft are going to focus on StarCraft 2. They're not going to be like, hey, what's this StarCraft 1 thing everyone's talking about? They're just going to be focusing on StarCraft 2. And so as far as we know, this is going to be the last season. There's no StarCraft 2 to get in the way. It's just going to be StarCraft 1, so anyone who watches StarCraft is going to be watching these seasons. So that's why I'm really excited about this. I'm expecting players to just practice their brains out more so than they already do, and so I'm really expecting a lot of epic games. I can't wait to see Stork and C again. C is definitely one of my favorite players, one of the lesser known but still been around forever Terran players on NBC Game Hero. NBC Game Hero also, they got their old coach back from what I've heard. I haven't done too much research on it. But last season, if you guys were following the teams at all, which I like to kind of follow each individual team to see how they're doing overall, NBC Game Hero was like bottom 3 or something like that last season. They actually used to be a really good team, but what happened is that they had a really good coach, whatever. He either got fired or quit. I don't know the exact story, but he wasn't the coach anymore. And they got some new guy, and apparently the new guy had a terrible practice scheme for the entire team. And so they just went down. Last season, they just went down, down, down. And StarCraft is all about practice. I mean, practice, practice, practice. That's why they'll play 8+ hours a day easily, is because if you're good at StarCraft, you still have to practice all the mechanics. And so they got their old coach back, though, so I'm hoping NBC Game Hero can make top 6 this year so that they're in the playoffs for the team leagues. As far as individual leagues, like I said, I really can't wait for Stork and C, and I really want to see, I mean, of course, like Savior, Jaedong, Bisu, and Flash. They're always fun to watch just because they're so good, and we'll have to see how it goes. I'm really happy that Calm won an individual league last season. If you look at his record for last season, Calm deserved it. A lot of people were talking smack on him, but he is just a ridiculously good player. I mean, maybe a little bit late to the StarCraft scene with StarCraft 2 coming out, but I think this season Calm is just going to decimate a lot of people, and hopefully there'll be a little bit less haters for him, because he's really good. But he won an individual league, and you can only get so lucky when it comes to winning an individual league. I mean, a lot of it is definitely skill. So looking out for him, and I don't know, man, I'm super stoked. The down season was killing me because it was just a bunch of games on random, really bad, unbalanced maps with B teamers. So
fun to watch.
Made those as yeah, they were pretty fun. Hard to commentate because some of the games are just so bad. It's just like, okay. He lost to the first Mutalist push again. I think we had 3 games in a row where they just lost to the first Mutalist harassment, which is something you don't usually see in high-end StarCraft matches. But either way, I can't wait for the season. Can't wait to get started. I know all the seasons are starting up here pretty soon. I don't know the exact dates, but it's pretty soon, and definitely looking forward to it. It should be an absolute blast. I'm expecting nothing but something way better than last season, so it'll be sweet. And yeah, definitely stay tuned, because I'm going to be commentating as much as I can. I can't get every game because sometimes there's like 8 games a night, but definitely going to be commentating as much as I can and try and upload as much, if not more, than the other commentators out there. So yeah, looking forward to it.
As are we. I'll make sure to link to the MSL finals between Calm and Quanro for those listeners who might have missed that. However, staying on that topic for a while longer, there was a interview on Team Liquid recently with Firebat Hero, the bad boy of StarCraft and the dancing Terran. He says he will rummage through Pro League, and he also says that he wishes there were no Protoss in StarCraft. Do you think he'll be able to make it this season?
I actually didn't see that interview. I saw it posted, and it's like bookmarked because I definitely want to go back and read that. Those interviews are awesome. Because who was it that they interviewed before? I can't remember, but he picked. I think it was Effort. Maybe he picked Sky High to be the next one interviewed. I think it's Effort. I may be mistaken. And so when I saw that they picked Firebat Hero for the next interview, I definitely was stoked about that, so I'm going to check that out shortly after this. But what I know about Firebat Hero is that he is what I think America would be if we were into esports. Just totally goofy, loves the attention. He does everything just to kind of like gloat over his opponents, and a lot of people complain about it. Whatever, get over it. It is good entertainment. It is funny, and it is fun to watch. And if it makes you hate him, then you have something to be happy about if he loses. So either way, I think it's a win-win. And as far as how will he do this season, last season, man, he kind of tapered out. I don't know, he ran out of gas or something. I guess he was too busy practicing his ceremonies after a victory that he forgot to practice StarCraft. So we'll see. I think it's funny that he's saying he wishes there was no Protoss, because last season Protoss was by far the worst race in the amount of games won compared to the amount of games lost. So I think no one can really dispute that last season was not the golden age of Protoss. Before that, Protoss were doing really good, but right now, Protoss are having a really tough time. Protoss their strongest matchup has always been against Terran, though, so maybe that's why he has an issue with them. I do think it's funny that he does say that, though. As far as how will he do, I'm not sure. I mean, he didn't really show us any crazy play, at least towards the end of the season. I mean, he pretty much just lost, as far as I know, most of his games. But I'm a huge fan of anyone who doesn't take themselves super serious and likes to have fun with their job, essentially. So I always try and catch Firebat Hero games. I mean, the last game I saw with him, he had eye surgery, and he was wearing these huge women's glasses, and I think that was in WCG, and that alone was just super entertaining. So that's kind of what I think will happen in America, at least. I can't speak for other countries, but if esports goes mainstream, I know America is all about standing out and just taunting your opponent and stuff, so I expect a lot of that. So it's just good to see a little bit of it in Korea, since they're so kind of shy in a lot of cases. So I'm always rooting for Firebat Hero no matter who he's playing.
As are most of us. Let's hope he does well for the fun factor, at least. Before this interview goes over 30 minutes, I thought I'd round it off with, any last statements, famous words, or rants you want to share with the world?
Other than being super stoked for the next season, I mean, there's 3 leagues, so lots of games that I'm looking forward to. I will be casting as many of those games as I can. And just my new channel, Esports Report. I'm still going to be doing my commentaries. I get that question all the time. They're like, why are you going to stop your commentaries? Well, I'm not going to stop my commentaries. That is still going to be my main focus. Esports Report will be a once or twice a week show. It'll be about 8 or 9 minutes each time. So go subscribe to that on YouTube if you haven't. It already has 12 or 1,300 subscribers, and I haven't really uploaded that much. But there is a huge interest in that show, so I can't wait to get that started. And other than that, I still plan to do fan events of fan games. I have the Heroes of New Earth one, which at the time of this interview, I'm still trying to get that video edited together because it's an hour long and 3 different views, so it's taking a little while to get that edited. And then after that, I'm going to be doing StarCraft fan games and Team Fortress 2 and all that good stuff. And so that's pretty much what's in the future. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Didn't sleep through it or anything. And yeah, just thanks for having me, and looking forward to uploading as many videos as possible.
Well, thank you very much, Husky. We all look forward to your future endeavors, and listeners will find links to practically everything that's been mentioned in the sidebar or wherever. And best of luck. Look forward to your next commentary, and good game, Husky.
All right, thanks for having me, man. It was awesome.
See you around.